Hey bag ladies and bag dudes, today I'm going to be talking about the fabric folding pen, the Hera Marker, Tula Pink All Stars fabric. My book review will be for Make Your Own Medallion. I'll show you how to grade a seam, and I have a great giveaway at the end. I'm Sarah Lawson from Sew Sweetness. Thanks so much for joining me for Sewcial Sunday, my weekly sewing chat. So hey to all the bag ladies and bag dudes. I saw you guys chatting in Facebook and YouTube before we started our live video. So thanks so much for joining me tonight. I see Diane. I see you, Diane. Thanks for being here. Suzanne from Florida. Marlene. Thanks so much to everyone for joining me for Sewcial Sunday. So just as a friendly reminder, just about everything that I talk about during Sewcial Sunday are things that I've purchased myself. So these are not things that I've gotten paid to talk to you about, but just cool things that I found that I want to share with you. And Pamela says, I love Sewcial Sundays. It gives me an excuse to have either popcorn or cheese and crackers with a glass of wine. Hey Tamara. Tamara says, hi Sarah and bag ladies and bag dudes. All right, so kicking off, my favorite part of Sewcial Sunday is the notion of the week. And if you're interested in finding out any more about the notions, fabrics, projects, books, anything that I talk about during Sewcial Sunday, just check the link in the description, and there will be a list of links to go along with each of the products that I talk about. All right, so first off, two options for marking and folding fabric. So sometimes when I'm making a bag, I have you measure, say, 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom edge and fold the fabric in toward the wrong side. So here are two notions that you can use to mark and fold fabric. So the first one is brand new. It's by Clover, and when I found it, I thought it just sounded like some kind of magic trick to me. So this is the fabric folding pen. That's what the package looks like. In the package, there's this plastic blue tube with a tip. The tube comes empty, and it comes with this little vial of liquid. So I read the directions earlier today. You're supposed to fill this plastic tube with water all the way up to the line right here, and then put 4 or 5 drops of this liquid inside. And what this does is you use the tip of the pen to mark the fabric, and you can easily fold it toward the wrong side. So I didn't quite believe that this would work, but I had to try it out before the chat just so I didn't look silly online. So I'm going to take my ruler and use this pen. Oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't have done that. Take the pen to mark a straight line with my ruler. So you can probably see that there's a little wet line over here, and I'm just going to take the fabric, and it does in fact make a crisp line so you can fold it evenly toward the wrong side. I was curious if this would also work with just water in this pen, but I didn't want to waste the liquid that I had in here, even though it looks like it would last a really long time. So again, this is the fabric folding pen, and as you can see, it made a nice crease in the fabric. Okay, so that's the first option. Another option that I've had for several years is this Hera Marker. So this is also by Clover. The packaging, if you find it at the store, should look pretty similar in colors, the green and yellow packaging. And this Hera Marker comes in 2 different sizes. So this is the regular size, and there's also a thinner Hera Marker. And this is basically just a plastic tool with sort of not a sharp edge like a knife, but this edge is not very blunt. And I've seen a lot of people use this particular tool for machine quilting. If you're quilting especially straight lines on your quilt sandwich or a very basic design on it, this leaves sort of a crease in the fabric that you can see for a little while, so you can machine quilt it. And I'm just going to take the ruler here and draw a line straight across. And this would also be a good tool for, there you can see the line, this would also be a good tool for folding toward the wrong side of the fabric. It didn't fold as easily as the line that I made with that fabric folding pen, but again, this is a very simple tool, and I've had it for a few years, and I've used it a few times for making diagonal markings on my fabric in preparation for machine quilting. So again, both of those tools are by Clover, and I have links in the description if you're interested in finding out more from either of those tools. Okay, so this past week, I didn't do any sewing at all, but I was working on writing a new pattern, so that meant I was sitting at the computer all day, drafting out the pattern pieces and writing the pattern instructions. I had an idea for another set of patterns, and it'll be coming out later this year, but because we're doing videos now, we need a little bit more lead time besides just me writing the patterns, we also need time for producing videos, and so I'm trying to stay ahead of the game and get my pattern writing done earlier rather than later, because we've been doing a lot of things last minute around here, and I just didn't want to be scrambling at the last minute. While I wasn't sewing anything this past week, I did get this magazine in the mail. It's called Creative Machine Embroidery from F&W Publishing, and at first I was wondering why I was getting this machine in the mail since I haven't yet gotten an embroidery machine, although we do have plans to go to a sewing machine shop this week and try out some embroidery machines in person. But upon closer look at this magazine, and I'll show you in the side view, there's a little cutout image of what looks like a really cute notions case, and I looked at it closer and I was like, hey, wait a second, that's the Crimson and Clover train case pattern. That looks like the large case. Upon first glance, I thought this was a store-bought case. It looked so well done. I opened up the magazine and I found inside there's a bigger picture of the Crimson and Clover train case. They've done some beautiful embroidery on the front. There's some plastic thread cases on the inside, and I thought it was awesome that they modified the zipper pocket so that it's a clear vinyl zipper pocket so you can see the notions inside. So the pattern is not in the magazine, but the pattern instructions for this little notion holder is. So I guess they just wanted to show both of these together. I did not design this, but I did design the Crimson and Clover train cases. We have a video. I know a lot of you have already picked up the pattern in the video for this project, but I just thought it was fun to see it in a different way. And like I said, I didn't even recognize it almost as the Crimson and Clover train case. Whoever made this, kudos to you, because it looks beautiful. So this was just something that I got in the mail that sort of brightened my day, and I love seeing other people's takes on my patterns, which is why I enjoy looking through the Sew Sweetness Facebook group every day, because especially since we've been doing the videos, there's been such a huge amount of projects being made and posted in the group. So if you're not already a member of the Facebook group, please check the link in the description, and I hope you'll join the group, especially if you finish sewing a project made from one of my patterns. I love to see the photos come through the group, and it's a very supportive group, and a lot of the ladies and bag dudes in there like commenting on things that they enjoy seeing as well. So that's the Facebook group, and if you're not already a member, I hope you'll consider joining. All right, the fabric of the week is Tula Pink, and I've got two big stacks of fabric here. Tula Pink All Stars recently hit shops. I got this fabric a few weeks ago, but I noticed a lot of shops were getting it in just now, so I wanted to show you some of the prints. It's comprised of two different types of fabric. So the first half is classic Tula Pink artwork that's been recolored in brand new colors, and the second half is stripes and pom-poms, which are stripe fabrics and polka dot fabrics, and polka dots are my favorite. I love polka dot fabrics. So let me show you a few of these in the side view. There's a lot, so I'll try not to take like a huge amount of time, but these are the raccoons from Acacia, and these are the three colorways that the raccoons came in. I love this raccoon print in particular because my dad, since I was a baby, has been on a softball team, and they're called the Raccoons, and so I like making him things in that raccoon fabric because it reminds me of his softball team. So here's some squirrels recolored in these really bright and beautiful prints, and I'll just keep going down the line and showing you the rest. Here's some frogs from the fabric line Prince Charming in the new colors, and I made a project out of this green frog print. I made one of the grab-and-go laptop cases from the Minikins, and I really like that a lot. And here's some owls, which if you're a long-time Tula Pink fan, you might have had some of these owls in your stash. And let's see, I think there's two more, sorry. This is originally from the fabric line Plume. It's got some really beautiful florals and birds in it. And one more that I have to show you, and this is another one of my favorites. I have the original in like a green colorway, which I really love. Okay, all right, so now let me pull out some of the stripes and the pom-poms, and I'll just throw those on the table all at the same time. So here's all the stripes. And these are great to use for, I love using these stripes for the linings because especially it's easy to find a coordinating print in these stripes to go along with just about any Tula Pink fabric that you're choosing to use for your projects. And this purple and pink one is my favorite from the stripes. So lots of color options as far as the stripes go, and let's pull out my favorites. The pom-poms, which is polka dots. And I made sure to buy a lot of these because I have no self-control clearly, but there's lots of pom-poms over here. All right, so I purchased these from quilthome.com, and if you're interested in getting your hands on some of these, the link is in the description for Quilt Home, and they have great customer service, and they always write a little handwritten note on my invoice, which I think is really nice. Not just a short like thank you, it's like a little paragraph of something like they're looking forward to seeing what I'm making with these, or some kind of comment from the Quilt Home Angels, who are the ladies that fill the orders from Quilt Home. So, all right, that was Tula Pink All Stars. I have a question for you. You probably know that I'm a super big Tula Pink fan. Let me know in the comments if you have any Tula Pink in your stash. So you might have some really old Tula Pink fabric, or you might be new on the Tula Pink bandwagon. Let me know in the comments if you have any Tula Pink fabrics in your stash. All right, so Danny suggested to me that even though we just had our last 4-pack video bundle come out 2 weeks ago, we better get filming on the second one, which we're planning for sometime in May. We seem to be pretty last minute as far as filming our videos. So our last bundle, the week before it came out, we filmed 3 videos. We filmed all the introductions, the trailers. So we kind of basically waited till the very last minute, as last minute as we could. This time we're not trying to do that, so we're going to start filming the videos this week. I already printed out my pattern. Tonight I'm going to cut out the fabric for the first video, and I'll probably film that on Wednesday after Ask Sarah, because of course we still have to film the tutorial for Ask Sarah because we're waiting till the last minute as always. But I'm excited to get some more videos filmed. I feel like the more videos we get done, the more projects we see come up in the Facebook group, the more people are sewing. So it's a good thing all around, and I like doing the videos. Danny likes doing them, except when he stays up late the night before. Sometimes I look over in the middle of a shot and he's sitting in his chair with his head back and snoring. So that makes me feel good because I feel like, wow, it must be really boring here if he's falling asleep. But I'm gonna make sure he gets his rest this week so we don't have any sleeping during filming going on. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned on Sewcial Sunday that I was looking for some sort of speaking coach, and a lot of you emailed me and recommended Toastmasters, which I really appreciated. So I'm going to my first Toastmasters meeting this Thursday. Danny's going to come with me. Toastmasters is basically a group that helps with public speaking, and even though I've been doing these live chats for a year now and the videos, and I've been teaching in person for years, there's always room for improvement, and I thought I could just do better with. So when I'm teaching someone how to do something, I feel really comfortable, and I don't feel awkward, and I don't feel there's breaks in the instruction. But when I have to make, conversation or fill in the blanks, I feel a little bit sometimes like I'm stuttering or not speaking clearly or not saying what I want to say. So I thought sort of public speaking coaching would help me. So I'm looking forward to going to my first meeting on Thursday, and hopefully I can get some feedback or learn some things in the group to do better for my live chats and in my videos as well. So pretty excited about that. So thinking about groups, let me know in the comments, but are you a member of any local quilting or sewing groups? So maybe your local quilt guild, maybe you're a member of a group that meets weekly or monthly at your local sewing shop or quilt shop. Let me know in the comments because I'm curious to see what other groups people are members of. As I was thinking of Toastmasters, I thought to ask what groups you're a member of, and hopefully you're a member of some sort of local sewing or quilting group, because I know sometimes sewing can be sort of a solitary hobby. We sit alone in our sewing rooms watching TV or listening to music, but sometimes it's nice to sew with other people. So let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know. All right, the book review for this week is for a book called Make Your Own Medallion, and 2 weeks ago I showed a different medallion book, but I got this one last week, and I was really excited because besides having the medallion instruction in the book, there's very detailed instructions on how to make blocks of different sizes to go around the medallion. So if you're not familiar with a medallion quilt starts off with a really big block around the center, and then each border is a different design. So maybe there's triangles in the second border, crosses in the next border, maybe orange peels in the border after that. So it just keeps growing by border. So I'm going to step over there and show you what's in the book I just picked up called Make Your Own Medallion. Okay, so this is the cover of the book. The book is written by Aaron Burke Harris, and let me show you near the beginning of the book there's pictures of the quilt projects that they explicitly show you how to make. Let me find that. So these are the quilts that are shown in the book, although you can use portions of each of these quilts and take a border from another one. So for example, if you wanted the center of your quilt to be this design, but you wanted the next row to be crosses, there's instruction in the book for all of that, and I found that really helpful. And let me show you what I mean. So for example, these flying geese blocks, it gives you instructions for how big to cut them, and the piecing instructions are there as well. But also if you want to make bigger blocks, so for example, if you're working on maybe the fourth border versus the second border, all that information is here. So you just have to do a little bit of figuring, but everything else as far as cutting and piecing is provided for you. So I thought that was really nice. And there's a lot of interesting blocks and instructions in here as well. There's a churn dash, which is a pretty classic design. And there's also some curves as well, which I thought is nice because I'm a really big fan of curves in blocks. Okay, so let me show you the quilts that are in here. There's a lot of blocks, which is really brilliant. Okay, so let's get to some of the medallions. So again, the medallion is the center of the quilt. As I'm a big fan of curves, my eye was drawn to this one right away. So these are the medallions. Basically you choose one and then you choose the different blocks that you would like for the rows, which were at the beginning of the book. So it's a really helpful book, a workbook I would say. And there's traditional piecing as well as foundation paper piecing included in the book. This is my favorite medallion, so I'm definitely going to use this one once I start making my medallion from this book. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that it's a solid block, or I just love geometric blocks. Okay, so those were all the medallions in the center, and then let's get to some of the quilts. I showed you the page with the smaller quilts in the front. And as you can see, you can mix and match. These are the borders. So you would just start with that center medallion and add the borders as you wish, or you can just use the same borders as shown in the book. So lots of great ideas in this book. I feel like it's a lot of instruction for your money's worth. This one's beautiful as well. Love the colors in that quilt. And this one's great too. So again, this is Make Your Own Medallion by Aaron Burke Harris. All right, so let me pop back over here. I would like to show you a little demo because I noticed some questions in my Facebook group this past week about bulk in the seam of a bag before doing some top stitching. So for example, in the Baker Street bag, this is what I'm talking about as far as bulk in the final seam in preparation for the top stitching. And everyone's machine will be different in regards to this, but some machines might have difficulty with that final top stitching, especially because this can be thick if you're using cork, foam interfacing, leather, things like that. So I've prepared 2 pieces of fabric to simulate that final top edge of the bag. So here's my 2 pieces of fabric. They're both attached to foam to simulate that same thickness in the bag. And I've gone ahead and already done the 1/2 inch seam allowance, which would be called for in a lot of my bag patterns. So what I'm going to do to grade this seam is I'm going to use this duckbill scissors, and this is the Ginger brand. There's other brands of scissors that make duckbill scissors as well, but I linked the Ginger brand in the description because this is the one that I've had for a few years. So basically the duckbill scissors have this wide plate over here, and this is what moves fabric out of the way. Especially if you're just cutting one layer, the duckbill holds that second fabric out of the way so that you don't cut it by accident. Okay, so let me explain what I'm doing here first, and then I'll go ahead and cut. So grading the seams is basically having one of the two seams be a little bit shorter, so they're sort of at cascading layers. They're not both at the same layer. So for instance, if I just sewed this 1/2 inch seam allowance and turned my fabrics wrong sides together and pressed, this area over here where this where these two bottom layers of fabric are can get quite thick. And so the purpose of grading the seam is to not have all of the bulk in the same area. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the duckbill scissors, and I'm going to cut one of the seams in half, so to about 1/4 inch. Okay, so as you can see, this seam's left alone at 1/2 inch. This one's down to 1/4 inch. Because these are at different layers, all the bulk is not concentrated up here. So there's some bulk over here, and then the rest is up top over here. So when you go to press wrong sides together and press it, it'll feel quite a bit thinner because of the alternating layers of the seam allowance. And you can do other things with this as well. You can cut both of them down to maybe 5/8 and then cut this one smaller just so you get this one trimmed down shorter as well. But this is just a quick and easy method, and you can use regular scissors for this. You don't have to, if you don't have a duckbill, you can use regular scissors. These are just nice for holding that second layer out of the way, but just a little tip that can help you reduce bulk, especially in the top edge of a bag as you prepare to do some top stitching. So right, this edge right over here. Okay, so I've been asking lately, and let me know in the comments because I'm always so excited to see everyone excited to be here tonight for this chat. But let me know in the comments if you're a bag lady or a bag dude. I enjoy seeing new bag ladies, especially in my Facebook group, posting their very first bag they ever made. I also like seeing the wannabe bag ladies because I know we're drawing you in and you're going to be a bag lady really soon. But let me know in the comments and be proud about it. Let me know if you're a bag lady or a bag dude. All right. If you have any questions for me, I'm going to get to some questions live in a second. Leave me your question in the comments if it's related to notions, if you have a sewing related question, a bag related question, or a tool related question, sewing tools. Let me know in the comments and we'll get to some questions in a second. I wanted to say also thank you for everyone on Tuesday for leaving the sweet comments about my new haircut. I wasn't sure about it at first, I admit, because it was quite a bit shorter than I had in mind. As far as I was thinking about a trim, and it ended up being really short, at least for me. So thank you for all the sweet comments on social media and the emails that I received. I definitely feel a lot better about it now. So, all right, Danny's going to put some questions on the screen and then stick around for the giveaway after the questions. So Nikki wanted to know, what do you do about bulk in the seam allowance in zippers? I personally have no problem in I'm not sure if you mean trimming the zipper through the curve. You can certainly trim back some of that fabric and interfacing around the zipper area. Maybe use the duckbill scissors just so you're not cutting your zipper. But you can certainly trim back some of the foam if you're finding that it's too thick for your liking. Mazzano Blue said, I will be a bag lady after Saturday, first one coming up. Oh, I'm so excited to see that. Be sure you email me a picture of your bag. I'd love to see it, especially a first bag. That's a really important bag, the first one. Kathy said, what is the model number of your favorite Kai scissors? I know you've mentioned this before, but could not find. Let me grab them over here because I have two now because I lost one when we were renovating, so I bought another pair and then I found the missing pair. So these are 7205 Kai scissors. They sort of have like a rubber grip over here, and they're really sharp, and I love these scissors. There's a comment from a wannabe bag lady, bought 2 of your bundles, can't wait to get them started. Yeah, just, you know, getting started is the hardest part. I find for me also when I'm about to start a new project, I feel like I'm hemming and hawing, like I pick my fabric out and then when it's time to cut it and interface it. But once I get sewing, it's like you can't stop me. So just dip your toes in there, choose one to start with, and I know you'll be successful and have a finished bag soon. Sue wanted to know, where can I get that t-shirt? It's so cute. So this t-shirt was purchased from me. Danny's gonna take, here, maybe I'll sit up a little bit. So my best friend purchased this for me for my birthday this past November. I think she said she got it on Amazon, but I didn't wanna, since it was a birthday gift, I didn't wanna be like, All right, show me where you bought it. I want to see the link, and I want to see how much you spent on it, because it wasn't about that. But yeah, I know this was from Amazon, and it's got this iron imprint on the front, which is just my style because it's happened to me before. Patty wants to know, will you be getting more of the snap setters in stock and snaps? Yes, we have 300 snap setters coming tomorrow. We have 2 colors of snaps. I think we're getting silver and antique silver in tomorrow, so I'll probably relist those sometime in the afternoon tomorrow. We have the hammers in stock, but we are getting more hammers on Wednesday, and we're getting refills on more of the snap colors on Wednesday as well. So yes, lots of snap setter tools coming in tomorrow, and we'll be relisting those right away. Debbie wants to know, where do we email pictures of our bags? So if you're on Facebook, you can join my Facebook group. The link is in the description, and you can post any bags of Sew Sweetness patterns that you finish in there. If you want to email me privately, if you're more comfortable doing that, my email is sarah@sewsweetness.com, and that's Sarah with no H. So it's just SARA@sewsweetness.com. So that's my email address. All right. Any more questions, Danny? Or yes? Okay. Della says, any chance you got your tool turner in? Oh, that's another good one. So we have more fast turn tools coming in. I think they should be in Tuesday. I ordered as many as I could, but I know that's not going to be enough. So we'll be relisting those as soon as they come in. That's the fast turn tool. Danny, can you hand it to me? It's that purple tip right there.
In orange?
Yes, orange. Thank you. Purple and orange. So this is the fast turn tool. I showed this a couple months ago, I think. It's a fabric turning tool for tubes. It's great for straps and little handle tabs. Yes, makes it so simple to turn fabrics right side out. And we'll be relisting these. I think Tuesday is when our next shipment is coming in of the fast turn tools. Sandra wanted to know, I was working on the Oslo bag today and find that the lining doesn't seem to fit well on the inside. Is there something we can do to make it fit better? So I had a note in the Oslo bag pattern about using a fabric adhesive spray if you wanted the insides to be really tight flush against the exterior. Just general bag making, if you find your linings are a little too big, you can always, depending on your fabric, that might happen, you can always gradually increase your seam allowance. So for example, at the top of the bag, start at the appropriate seam allowance and then work into a tighter seam allowance. So if the seam allowance for the lining was a 1/2 inch, you could maybe start off with 5/8 of an inch or slightly larger, and just sort of taper it, ease it in. So that bigger seam allowance will make the lining tighter fit in the exterior. But the fabric adhesive spray is another option for that as well. Anita wanted to know, do you cut the foam interfacing smaller than the fabric? I personally don't. I just leave it the same size, like that demo that I was showing you. The fabric's the same size as the foam interfacing. I've seen comments in my Facebook group before that some ladies prefer to trim down the foam so that it's smaller and out of the seam allowance. You can do that as well, but for me personally, I just leave it the same size. Michelle said, bag lady here, I love your bag patterns and want to make one of each before the end of the year if I can. Anyone else? Also, it's fun for me when I say bag lady because where I grew up, and maybe for others too, it meant a homeless woman who carried a lot of shopping bags. Yes, I've heard that comment before, that bag lady is traditionally not a positive word to use, but for me, I like using it because I feel like it's this is our group here and we're all friends, and I feel like bag lady and now bag dude is how the words that I'm using to communicate with all of you. So I just love the word, and I think we're turning it around to make it the more modern version and the positive way to call other bag makers. Diane says, why does the cork fabric only come in 1/2 yard increments? I don't know if this has been discussed previously, bag lady baby. So we sell the cork fabric in 1/2 yard pieces, which is technically 18 inches by 54 inches, and we also sell it in half of that, so that would be 18 by 27 inches. The reason we sell it at just the 1/2 yard pieces is because, well, one, for shipping reasons. The boxes that we have are slightly larger than the 1/2 yard, so we can get the cork in the boxes. Also, the shipping gets a lot more expensive the bigger the shipping container. So for 1 yard or more, the shipping container would have to be bigger than 36 inches long. So it gets more expensive, and also for storage purposes, that's just how we pre-cut all the fabric, and so that's how we store it. downstairs in the workroom. So it's just so we can get the orders out faster, keep the shipping costs down, all of that. Nikki says, Danny, can I be a bag dude even if I have lady parts? I am so a tomboy. Yeah, so when I was a kid, I was a tomboy too, always playing baseball at the park. I was the only girl. As I've grown, I'm liking pink more. When I used to hate pink, my favorite color was green, but I kind of like pinks and purples now. So yeah, sure, you can be a bag tomboy or bag dude, anything's fine. Janice said, are you going to be putting the material sets for the Minikins, i.e., oh, I think you're asking about the Minikins Notions kits. We just need to restock those, but because we're getting, unfortunately, because we're getting month 2 of Cork Club ready to be shipped really soon, we had to take those out of stock once we ran out of them. We just want to make sure we can get the orders out, so we're going to finish up Cork Club as soon as we can. Then we'll get everything stocked up for the Minikins Notions kits and the airplane bag kits. Some people asked about that as well. Sue said, can you recommend a great starter kit for a bag for a wannabe bag lady? So if you're looking for just the pattern or video, on my YouTube channel, the Baker Street bag or the Easy Leather Hobo bag are great projects to start with your first bag. If you need a bag pattern that has a kit, I could recommend, we have a few kits in stock on the website. The airplane bag kit, which is well, the ones that are out of stock, the airplane bag kit. We have the Annex double zip box pouch kit. So there's a few kits that we stock on the website to go along with some of the videos. And you can find that on the website, sewsweetness.com, and we have a graphic for supply kits on the website. Tina wants to know, can we still sign up for Cork Club? Yes, we have about 20 more slots open for new subscribers. We're just trying to keep everything so we can control it and get the orders out, as opposed to just letting you know, 1 million people, and I'm exaggerating, but we just want to keep it manageable. So we've got about 20 slots left for new subscribers for Cork Club, and you can find that by going to sewsweetness.com and clicking on the Cork Fabric link, and you'll find Cork Club right away. Karen says, do you ever use cam snaps? Yes, I actually, my cam, maybe in a future Sewcial Sunday, I'll show you my cam snap press. So if you've seen my rivet press before on a future past video, my rivet press is green. My cam snap press, because I have a tabletop press for the cam snaps as well, that one's pink. So I'll show you in a future video. Unfortunately, the dies were not interchangeable, so I had to get a new press for the cam snaps, but they also have a handheld snap for cam snaps as well. Lindsay May wants to know, do you ever do any kind of scrap buster project like Scrappy Bags? I actually, not for this Tuesday, for next Tuesday, I just thought of it today. We're going to be doing a video, and I'm excited about it, for very small scraps. I'm talking like 2.5 inch approximately squares of fabric, and I had a great idea today, and we'll show that on Ask Sarah on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Not this Tuesday, next Tuesday. So that's
your selvage pouch as well.
Oh, my selvage pouch. Yeah, Danny's reminding me I also have a video for a selvage zipper pouch, and that's on YouTube as well. And that's for obviously scraps of salvages. Deborah says, I will be homeless buying all this fabric and hardware. Yeah, tell me about it. All this fabric behind me. Not enough hours in the day to sew with all of it. Nancy wants to know, do you know if we can embroider on cork? You can. I've not personally done it, but I had some friends embroider cork for me. Let me see if my notebook's behind me anywhere. It's not. I thought I could reach it quickly. But I've heard from my Facebook group that when the ladies are embroidering on the cork, they're floating the cork, so they're not hooping it, because apparently the hooping is leaving creases in the cork, so they're floating it. If you know how to do that, I haven't done it yet, but like I said, we're going to be looking at some embroidery machines later this week. Nicole wants to know, will you have any of your supplies from your shop available for sale at your retreat in June? Yes, we're going to be bringing tons of cork and vinyl, threads, tools, and notions. Yeah, we'll have all of that at the retreat in June, and we have a nice big space for mingling and having lunch, and I'll have all the fabric and notions for sale in that area. Lois had a question. I've been looking at your faux leather on your site. Is the wrong side smooth, and would it need to be interfaced for stability to use it making bags? So the wrong side of the faux leather is canvas, so it is smooth. It's a canvas fabric, and if you wanted to make a zipper pouch with no lining, you could, because it's not a fraying type of fabric. It's just a smooth canvas. So hopefully that answers your question. We'll take a few more. How about 3 more, Danny? So Donna wanted to know, have you found the metal corner turners yet? I found one at my local quilt shop. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but if you want to email me, Sarah@sewsweetness.com, maybe we could discuss it further. Gabriella wants to know, will you do a video on how to make tassels for bags? Yes, it's on my list. Unfortunately, my list is getting longer because lots of people email me with very, very good ideas. But we're just doing like a new tutorial video every Tuesday, so trying to get through those as quickly as we can, but fortunately there's a lot of Tuesdays in the year. So yes, Myrta, we see the guitar strap this Tuesday. Tuesday is the, I just needed a little more time for the guitar strap. I don't know why. I know it's a simple project. Tuesday we're going to be talking about magnetic snaps and invisible magnetic snaps, because I've gotten a lot of questions about the invisible ones lately. Next Tuesday we'll do the Scrappy project, and Tuesday after that we'll do the guitar strap, I promise. It'll be coming up soon. Donna wants to know, where's your retreat in June? It's June 21st through the 24th. It's here in Chicago. It's 5 minutes away from O'Hare Airport, so really convenient to get to if you're flying in, and that's also 5 minutes away from my house, so we can get everything that people need if they leave fabric at home or whatnot. And that's information for that's on my website. I think we have 5 more spots left for that retreat in June. Linda wanted to know, would love to see how you did the Allison glass bag that I saw on Instagram. I'm not sure. Was it the Rockstar bag maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, Danny's thinking that maybe the Rockstar bag. Rock Baby Scissors makes a lot of Rockstar bags. We will do a video for the Rockstar bag sometime. I know it won't be in May, but hopefully sometime this year. And Tuesday at what time? So the live shows are every Sunday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook and YouTube. So the Sunday show is called Sewcial Sunday. Tuesday show is called Ask Sarah. Nikki said, Sarah, I was too scared to try vinyl before I found you and didn't have any patterns that I just had to use it on. Thanks to you, I'm not afraid anymore and have tons of options to use it. That's so great. Like vinyl, cork, faux leather is great to use. You don't have to use it for the whole bag, but just for accents, like smaller areas of the bag, or handles, or even like just a little handle on a zipper pouch. It kind of kicks it up a notch. So that's great. And thanks so much for giving it a shot. And I know you'll be sewing with it a lot going forward. And Linda wants to know, I have vinyl and faux leather that feel the same. What is the difference? So the faux leather, I've just given it that name just so people understand it's sort of like a leather look, but not real leather. Some people use the terms interchangeably, so that they might call that same thing vinyl. It is technically a vinyl product, so either of those terms would be okay to call it by.
Last question.
Okay, Danny says this is the lucky last question. Donna wanted to know, will you be making more travel bags? Yes, because I'm a fan of large scale prints. I like making bigger bags. I have a idea. I don't want to say what kind of bag it is for, because that kind of gives it away, but I have a couple more sketches that I'm going to be getting to soon for bags that you can take with you when you're going like on an airplane. So constantly having new ideas coming through my head. There's just so many hours in the day, but the great thing that Danny's working with me now, I have a little bit more time for designing patterns. So hopefully get to some new projects soon. Okay, last week's winner of the giveaway was Nancy Parsons. Nancy won 4 rolls of Cork fabric, so congratulations to Nancy. This week's prize, Danny's reminding me, if you enjoy these Sewcial Sunday chats, if you're watching on Facebook, if you'll please hit the share button, share this video with your sewing friends. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button, and if you would like to see future videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you so much for doing that, and it just helps us continue to do more videos. So this week's giveaway is for 2 books, the Versatile 9 Patch and Modern Patchwork. So these are both great books, especially this one if you're newer to quilting. There's a lot of helpful information on that in here. And a set of Fat Quarters by Tula Pink. This is from the Eden fabric line, so tigers and jungle fabrics in here. Nice set of Fat Quarters. So the 2 books in the Fat Quarters will be given to one randomly drawn winner from everyone who comments across our social media. All you have to let me know to enter the giveaway is to answer this question. As far as sewing or quilting books go, do you prefer to buy books? Do you like ebooks, or do you like getting books from the library? So let me know how you like consuming your sewing or quilting books. Again, buying books, ebooks, or getting out books from the library. So just let me know in the comments, and we'll be drawing a winner at the end of the day this Saturday at 11 p.m. Central Time. Okay, so I hope you'll join me on Tuesday live at 7 p.m. Central Time for Ask Sarah. We'll be talking about different types of magnetic snaps, traditional, invisible. I'll show you how to put both of those in. And then I'll see you again next Sunday for Sewcial Sunday, and happy sewing.